A young girl lies in bed on a freezing winter night. But what happens next defies the boundaries of life itself. Welcome to Conscious Chronicles. I am the Conscious Chronicle, and today I'll be guiding you through another true story beyond the veil. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Today's narration is taken from the International Association for Near-Death Studies website. I'll place a link in the description below. This is the story of a 10-year-old girl, told in her own words. Dying felt like falling backwards into blackness. Then it felt like I was sitting up, out of my body. I found myself standing, facing away from myself. I don't remember if I glanced at the bed or not, but I don't think I felt the need to. Everything was beautiful, as if someone had turned up the saturation filter on life. The colors were bright and vivid. I looked around, soaking in the blue and white tones of my room. Then, I wondered what my mum was cooking. I zoomed down to where she was. I saw a bright orange and white hue around her. I wondered what she was thinking. Then I heard her say, "Cook food, go watch TV. Cook food, go watch TV," even though her mouth wasn't moving. I realized I could hear her inner thoughts. It seemed cool. So, I wondered what my dad was thinking. With that thought, I zoomed through the house across the yard and into the barn. My dad was milking a cow. A humanoid shadow figure next to him was startled by my presence and went away. That wasn't unusual for me. Our 1800s farmhouse was haunted. I'd see toys move, feel nudges, and a shadow figure would often watch me sleep. Our dog refused to come into my room. I always slept under the blankets, surrounded by stuffed animals to keep me safe. My dad's energy was nearly invisible. Maybe it was too low to see clearly. I heard his thoughts, and they were sad. I gave him a big hug. He didn't react, but that was normal. After hugging him, my arms glowed white. That didn't seem weird, because everyone had colors and glows around them. I figured white was mine. His thoughts became more upbeat. He turned and said my name aloud. I stood behind him, waiting for a command or something, but it never came. He just went back to milking. I figured he was feeling better. His light became a mix of bright orange, blue, and white. I saw my sister feeding the cows. I didn't care to hear her thoughts. We didn't get along back then. So I wandered slowly outside, appreciating everything around me. The snow was extra sparkly. I saw yellows, pinks, reds, blues, greens. I wondered, what makes it so sparkly? Suddenly, I became one with the snow. I was in blackness, surrounded by particles of colored light. I understood these were the colors that make snow. These colors make everything you see. I wanted to explore more than the snow. With that thought, I was back over the snow and turned to the night sky. The night sky was brighter than ever. The moon always fascinated me. I wanted to go there. With that thought, I was pulled toward it. Everything warped around me as I sped through space. Suddenly, I found myself in a crater on the moon. Space and the moon were so full of light, more than I expected. Then I sensed a presence to my right. 3 large humanoid beings of white, flowing light sat at the crater's edge. They wore robes made of the same energy and had wings. They were like loving parents, excited to see me, but gentle so I wouldn't flee. One of them stood and came to me. He had a deep, masculine voice and a powerful presence. I'll call him he. He didn't identify as anyone specific. He was there to guide me, support me, and keep me safe. He loved me the way I love my favorite dog or a child, unconditionally. Even if I'd done something wrong, it was seen with compassion. That shocked me. He asked, "What did you think of your life?" I complained like a 10-year-old would. Then he asked, "What have you learned?" I wasn't sure I was supposed to be learning anything. I gave a few answers. He gestured to a river of energy flowing with light. We walked to the river. In it were different situations playing out. I was meant to judge, learn, and share knowledge. Childhood experiences popped up like holograms. I didn't realize they were mine at first. Watching them, I began to feel the emotions of each person involved, even the animals and bugs. I felt everything. Eventually, the scenes faded. I realized it was my life review. I felt embarrassed by one event and tried to hide. I found myself in blackness again. The being became a point of light. He asked, "Why are you embarrassed? What have you learned?" Those questions pulled me back to him. I realized that our thoughts kind of created pockets of reality. But if we desire to be elsewhere, we can go there. Even in the void, they could still reach me. By age 10, I had learned that we must continue to choose unconditional love, even in harsh environments. I learned to be selfless, but not a doormat. I learned that thoughts and intentions carry energy. Our energy weaves together into reality. We're bound in this human experience. Our thoughts shape everyone's experience. He told me my dad was once my best friend in another life. My mum had been my wife. Our siblings had been our children. All lives are interwoven, influencing each other. That's karma. The life review is karma too. It's how we balance and grow. I saw all my lives flowing at once. Lessons and wisdom stored there for me. I could access them any time. He asked, "What do you want to do?" I wanted to stay, but also return. I didn't want my family to miss me. I could visit them from spirit, or I could return. My desire to return was strongest. The other beings were busy with the river. They asked if I wanted to add anything to my life. I requested 2 events, but had to choose which would happen first. I don't remember what they were. I held glowing rocks in my hands, which was so cool. He told me I had chosen this life, and these parents. My biological dad wasn't the man raising me. I wasn't upset. I loved him, and he loved me as his own. He said, I was made of the same energy as him. I looked within and saw it was true. I told him I didn't want to die a painful death. He said they would try to help, but I still had to actively make choices. I wasn't a puppet. I had free will. I said I was scared to mess up. He told me to stay open to contact. I would still hear him, and I did, for years, until I became distracted by life. But when I started living healthier, I heard him again. He said not to fear death. We are eternal. Human life is a blink. He offered to show me my other lives. I declined. I knew I could ask later. He gestured to the river. It had stones directing the flow of energy and events. Some futures were certain. Others could be avoided or redirected. I saw boulders representing my birth and next death. Another boulder marked my return. I paused and thought about living again. My energy grew bright. I felt joy. I zoomed back to my body. I hovered over my body. It didn't feel like mine, but I knew it was. I touched my body and was pulled down into cold blackness. I opened my eyes. I felt cold and heavy. I went downstairs to warm up by our one working furnace. I told my dad everything. He believed me. He installed 2 more furnaces and fixed the one in the basement. What do you think happened to her? Could it be a glimpse of what awaits us? Thank you for joining me here on Conscious Chronicles. If this story touched your soul, please like, comment, and subscribe to hear more true journeys beyond this life.